Welcome back to the Everyday English Podcast. This is the second part of our lesson, and I'm so excited to continue learning with you. If you haven't watched the first part yet, make sure to check it out. Now, let's get started with today's episode.
And now it's time to ease into the evening. Our bodies and minds need a break, and English has some wonderful evocative phrases to describe this essential transition into relaxation and sleep. Our first phrase for truly unwinding is to kick back and relax. Sounds good already. This means to take it easy, to stop working, to simply chill out and enjoy some leisure time. It's all about easing into comfort and letting go of stress. You might say, after a long day at work, I just want to kick back and relax with a good book. Perfect. Or he loves to kick back with some music and forget about his responsibilities for a while. Bliss.
To kick back and relax immediately evokes a strong sense of ease, physical comfort, and freedom from obligation. You feel it. It often implies a deliberate change of posture or activity to a more restful state, suggesting the shedding of daily stress and a conscious embrace of leisure. This phrase captures the universal human desire to unwind after effort, moving from obligation to enjoyment. That balance. Exactly. It's about truly letting go and finding personal peace, often by settling into a comfortable position, putting your feet up.
It definitely paints a picture of sinking into a sofa, doesn't it? Reclining. That transition from on to off.
Yeah.
Are there nuances between just kick back and just relax? Is kick back more physical?
Yes, I think there are. Relax is a general state. You can relax standing up, technically. Kickback adds that physical element, often implying literally leaning back, putting your feet up, or adopting a more physically relaxed posture.
Getting comfy.
Right. It's a more active choice to unwind, a physical manifestation of deciding to take a break. It's the action of setting yourself up for relaxation.
What's your ideal way to kick back and relax after a busy day? Does it involve settling down with a good book, putting on some calming music, maybe watching something mindless, or perhaps just enjoying some quiet time without any specific agenda? It's a vital part of recharging, isn't it? For many of us, relaxation in the evening often involves entertainment, especially with the endless streaming options available today. Our next phrase is to catch up on a show. Very 21st century. This means to watch a TV program or series you've missed, perhaps several episodes at once, in order to get up to date with the storyline. Binge watching sometimes. It's a very modern idiom, reflecting our current media consumption habits. Examples are, I spent all last night catching up on that new series everyone's talking about. Gotta stay current. Or, let's catch up on the last 2 episodes of our favorite show this evening. Cozy night in.
To catch up on a show is a perfect reflection of contemporary media consumption, absolutely. Especially with the rise of streaming services and on-demand viewing, it changed everything. It describes the act of making up for missed content, often in a concentrated burst, like binge watching.
Binge.
Right. This idiom speaks to the desire to be current with popular series and to immerse oneself in ongoing narratives. It's become a shared cultural experience in the digital age. It's almost an obligation for some, isn't it, to keep up so you can talk about it.
FOMO. Fear of missing out on the plot twists. It definitely feels like an obligation sometimes. The fear of missing out, or spoilers. Does catch up always imply you're behind, though? Could you catch up on a show you're already current with?
Not really, no. Catch up specifically means you're bringing yourself up to date from a point where you were behind. If you're current, you're just watching the new episode as it comes out. The phrase inherently carries the idea of closing a gap in your viewing history, bridging that gap.
The joy of binge watching, or simply staying current with a story you love. What show are you currently trying to catch up on? Maybe a new series that everyone is talking about, or an old favorite you're revisiting. As the evening progresses and tiredness truly sets in, like deep tiredness, we might find ourselves ready to crash out. This vivid phrase means to fall asleep very quickly, usually because you are profoundly tired, almost involuntarily. It implies profound, sudden exhaustion, often after an incredibly demanding day, just gone. You might hear someone say, man, I crashed out at 10 p.m. last night. I was dead tired after that marathon meeting. Or she was so exhausted after her trip, she just crashed on the sofa the moment she got home. Didn't even make it to bed.
Crashing out vividly implies a sudden, often involuntary surrender to overwhelming exhaustion.
Yeah.
Surrender is a good word. It's a much more intense form of falling asleep than merely dozing off, usually triggered by extreme fatigue after a particularly demanding day or activity. This phrase truly captures the physical and mental state of being utterly spent, where sleep isn't a gentle transition, but an immediate, unavoidable necessity, like your body just shuts down.
System shut down.
Exactly. It's a powerful way to convey extreme tiredness.
That feeling of pure, absolute exhaustion where sleep just takes over. A truly welcome oblivion sometimes. Does crash out ever imply sleeping somewhere unexpected, like not in your own bed?
Yes, it often can. That's a good point. While it can mean falling asleep quickly in your own bed, it's also very commonly used to describe falling asleep unexpectedly somewhere else due to sheer tiredness. On the sofa, at a desk maybe, or indeed at a friend's place if you're too tired to go home. The out part can also hint at that unplanned location, crashing out somewhere.
Makes sense. When was the last time you were so tired that you just crashed out?
Yeah.
Perhaps right on the sofa or the moment your head hit the pillow, feeling dead tired, as the example says. Now, in contrast to the abruptness of crashing out, we have the gentler to doze off. This means to slowly and gently fall asleep, often unintentionally and usually in a relaxed setting. It's a more gradual, peaceful process, a soft descent into slumber, little naps. You might hear someone admit, oops, I think I dozed off during the movie. It was so long and slow. Or he dozed off while reading his book in the armchair. Cozy.
Yes, in direct contrast to crashing out, dozing off suggests a gentle, gradual descent into sleep, much calmer. It's often unintended and typically occurs in relaxed settings, watching TV, reading a book, or maybe even during a long, perhaps less than thrilling lecture or presentation. This phrase describes a softer, more subtle transition to sleep, often characterized by brief periods of light unconsciousness rather than deep, heavy slumber. It's often a sign of being comfortable and unwound, maybe too comfortable sometimes.
That cozy, sleepy feeling, the gentle nod towards sleep, the head bobbing. Is there a difference in depth of sleep between dozing off and a full night's sleep?
Absolutely. Yeah, big difference. Dozing off usually implies a light, often interrupted sleep, like a cat nap.
Easily woken.
Exactly. You might easily be woken up from dozing off. A full night's sleep implies deep, restorative rest, much heavier. So dozing off is more about the preliminary, lighter stages of falling asleep rather than the deep, sustained sleep itself.
Have you ever dozed off in a comfortable armchair? Perhaps during a long presentation, Don't tell anyone, or while listening to a particularly calming podcast. It's a quiet, peaceful kind of sleep, isn't it? Until you wake up with a stiff neck. Finally, as the day truly, officially ends, we have to call it a night. That's it, folks. This means to make a conscious decision to go to bed or to stop all activities for the day. It's a definitive statement of concluding all waking activities. Pulling the plug. You'll hear it said with a sigh of relief, maybe. Okay, I'm utterly exhausted after that marathon. I'm calling it a night, or maybe leaving a party. Right, let's call it a night and head home. It's getting late.
To call it a night is a deliberate, conscious decision. That's key. To conclude the day's activities and transition towards sleep, it can apply not just to ending one's personal activities at home, but also to wrapping up work late or leaving social gatherings, signifying a collective or individual choice to finish up. It conveys a sense of finality and resolution, marking the official close of the waking period. It's a very common and polite way to signal departure or the end of a session. Okay, I'm done.
Polite way to leave a party, maybe. It's the official end of the day, that satisfying moment when you finally decide it's time to rest. Does this phrase ever imply that something was cut short, though? Or that you're leaving earlier than expected, maybe?
It can. Yes, it often does. If you're at a party and you say, right, I think I'm going to call it a night, it usually implies you're leaving before others or before the party fully ends, often due to tiredness or having to get up early.
Got responsibilities.
Exactly. So, yes, it can carry that subtext of ending something sooner than others or sooner than the activity itself is fully concluded. It's about prioritizing your need for rest, essentially.
When you're feeling utterly spent after a long and demanding day, how satisfying is it to finally say, right, I'm exhausted, I'm calling it a night, and truly mean it? It's a signal of well-deserved rest, permission to stop. Everyday life. A mix of activities. Okay, beyond the strict timeline of morning, day, and night, our lives are filled with other crucial phrases for common tasks and interactions that just pop up whenever needed, Throughout the day, these are versatile expressions that sprinkle throughout our conversations, adding naturalness and nuance to our language. Let's explore some of these now, starting with to freshen up. This means to quickly perform a personal care routine, maybe washing your face, brushing your hair, maybe changing a shirt to feel more presentable or revitalized. Especially after a long day or before an event, it's about a quick personal refresh. Feel human again. Examples include, hang on, I just need to freshen up before dinner. I feel a bit grubby. Or, she always freshens up after a workout before heading back to the office. Quick change.
To freshen up suggests a quick personal care routine aimed at feeling more presentable or revitalized without necessarily involving a full shower or extensive preparation. That's the key distinction.
Right, not a full shower.
It's about a swift, targeted fix to feel better and more alert, especially when transitioning between activities or after feeling a bit tired or disheveled. It's a common and practical gesture of self-care that many cultures share, a sort of a mini reset button for one's appearance and comfort.
That quick pick-me-up that makes you feel ready to face the next thing. Does it ever imply a quick shower or bath? Or is it definitely lighter than that?
Not usually, no. If you had a shower, you'd likely just say, I took a shower, or I'm going to grab a quick shower. Freshen up suggests something lighter, splashing water on your face, changing clothes, maybe reapplying deodorant or makeup, or just generally making yourself feel tidier and more awake. It's more about the feeling of being renewed, not necessarily the thoroughness of a full wash.
When do you find yourself most often needing to freshen up? Is it after a workout, before an evening out, or perhaps just to feel more awake in the middle of a long, busy afternoon? Okay, essential for planning our busy lives is to check your schedule. Can't live without this one. This means to look at your calendar, your planner, your digital diary, whatever you use, to confirm availability for appointments, meetings, or social engagements. It's a core act of organization and time management. Basic survival skill, really. You'll constantly hear, let me check my schedule and get back to you about that meeting time. Or, he checked his schedule and confirmed he was free for coffee next Tuesday. Great.
To check your schedule is such a fundamental phrase for planning, coordination, and managing one's time effectively in modern life. You hear it constantly. It highlights the importance of organization and the need to confirm availability before committing to anything. Avoid double booking.
Nightmare.
Exactly. This phrase speaks to the structured nature of our daily lives, where calendars and planners, whether physical or digital, are indispensable tools for navigating our commitments. It's an act of responsibility, really, towards yourself and others.
It's a phrase you'll undoubtedly use constantly when arranging plans, whether with friends or for work. Is there a difference between checking your schedule and checking your calendar? Or are they basically the same?
They're often used interchangeably in conversation. Yeah, pretty much the same. But maybe schedule can feel a tiny bit broader, encompassing a general overview of your time commitments, perhaps tasks as well as appointments, while calendar might refer more specifically to the physical or digital tool itself, the grid with dates. But honestly, for practical purposes, they convey the same intent. I need to see what commitments I have.
Okay, good to know. How often do you check your schedule in a typical day? Maybe to see what's coming up next, or to pencil in a new appointment or reminder. It's a constant act of balancing time, isn't it? Juggling priorities. When running errands or needing just one or two items, we often use the phrase to pop into a shop. Sounds quick. This means to go into a store quickly, just for a minute or a brief stop. Definitely not intending a lengthy shopping trip or browsing session. It's all about speed and brevity. In and out. Imagine saying, oh, I just popped into the shop quickly to grab some bread and milk essentials. Or, she popped into the pharmacy on her way home to pick up a prescription. Quick mission.
Pop into specifically conveys that sense of speed and brevity. It's inherent in the word pop.
Yeah, pop.
It implies a quick, often unplanned stop that doesn't involve a lengthy shopping trip or extensive browsing. This phrase captures the casual, efficient nature of many daily errands, where the goal is to quickly acquire a specific item or perform a rapid task before moving on. It suggests minimal interruption to one's main journey or activity, very much about efficiency.
Those quick, essential errands that fit seamlessly into your day, or sometimes derail it slightly. Does pop into always mean a retail store, like clothes or groceries? Or could it be another type of establishment?
It primarily means a retail store, yeah. Or really any public establishment where you can enter and exit quickly. So a bank, a post office, a cafe for a takeaway coffee, you could pop into those.
Okay.
You wouldn't typically pop into a doctor's office for a full scheduled appointment, for example. That doesn't fit. The quick and brief elements are absolutely key to the meaning.
What's the last store you popped into? Perhaps for a forgotten ingredient, a prescription, or maybe just a little treat. It's amazing how much we can accomplish in just a few minutes sometimes, isn't it? Or how long a quick pop-in can take. Sometimes, especially after long periods indoors or maybe intense concentration, a quick break is needed. Desperately. And we say, to catch some fresh air. Simple, but effective. This means to go outside and breathe for a bit, specifically to clear your head, get a change of scenery, or simply rejuvenate if you've been inside too long feeling stuffy. It's about quick restoration. A mini break. You'll hear, phew, I really needed to catch some fresh air after that stuffy long meeting. Or let's go for a quick walk around the block and get some air before we continue working. Good idea.
To catch some fresh air describes a simple, yet often profoundly restorative act, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's about a brief escape to clear one's head, to physically and mentally reset, or to simply get a change of scenery, break the pattern. This phrase emphasizes the revitalizing power of the outdoors, even for just a few moments, offering a quick antidote to stuffiness, mental fatigue, or even mild stress. It's a common, healthy coping mechanism. Step away.
A perfect way to hit the reset button during a busy day. Does it have to be literally fresh air, though, like crisp mountain air in the countryside? Or can it be fresh air in a busy city environment, too?
Colloquially, it can be anywhere outdoors, yeah. While cleaner, rural air is obviously ideal, the phrase is commonly used even in urban settings, where the freshness might just mean outside air rather than stuffy, recirculated indoor air.
Just different air.
Right. The core is the change of environment and the breath of outside air, whatever its actual quality.
When do you most often feel the need to catch some fresh air? Is it after a long stretch of computer work, during a stressful conversation, or just when you need a moment to clear your head and reset? Okay, in our incredibly connected modern world, a ubiquitous activity is to scroll through your phone. We all do it. Too much, probably. This means to look at your apps, messages, or social media feeds on your phone, often casually, passively, and sometimes mindlessly, using your finger or thumb to move content up or down the screen. Scroll, scroll, scroll. It's a truly universal digital habit. Examples are, she was just scrolling through her phone before bed, unwinding, or maybe winding herself up. Or I found myself just scrolling through Instagram while waiting for my coffee. Filling time.
To scroll through your phone is a quintessential modern idiom. Perfectly captures the widespread act of passively browsing digital content. It implies a casual, often habitual interaction with one's device, frequently without a specific goal other than consumption or maybe light engagement, distraction.
Yeah, digital numbness sometimes.
Right. This phrase highlights how deeply integrated digital technology has become into our daily routines, serving as a common way to fill small pockets of time, or indeed quite large ones sometimes. It's almost an involuntary action for many people now, a reflex.
It is an involuntary action for many, myself included. Definitely a reflex. Is there a difference between scrolling through your phone and checking your phone?
Yes, I think there's a definite nuance there. Checking your phone usually implies looking for something specific, a message you're expecting, a notification, the time, the weather,
Yeah.
purposeful.
Right, information seeking.
Whereas scrolling through is more aimless browsing, often without a particular target in mind, just seeing what's there. It's kind of the difference between looking for a specific book in a library and just flipping idly through a magazine you found.
A truly universal habit in our digital age. How much time do you spend scrolling through your phone in a day? Be honest. Perhaps mindlessly browsing, or maybe catching up on news and messages. It's a constant companion for many of us, isn't it? For better or worse. For those who prioritize health and well-being, even a short burst of activity counts. Something is better than nothing. We have to do a quick workout. This means to exercise for a short period of time, fitting it efficiently into an already busy schedule. Maybe not a full hour at the gym, just something short. It's all about efficient fitness. Getting it done. You might hear, I was trying to do a quick workout before breakfast to get my energy up. Good habit. Or, he likes doing short home workouts when he can't get to the gym. Adapt.
This phrase emphasizes efficiency in fitness. Exactly. Highlighting the practicality of fitting exercise into an already busy schedule, without necessarily committing to a full, long session. To do a quick workout speaks to adaptable approaches to health and well-being, acknowledging that even short bursts of activity can be profoundly beneficial. It's about making fitness accessible amidst daily demands, a sign of resourcefulness and prioritizing health.
Making it happen. Getting that essential movement in, even when time is tight. Does quick workout imply less intense, though? Or just shorter duration? Can it still be hard?
It primarily implies shorter duration. Yeah,
Okay.
The intensity can still be high. Think of a quick, intense HI-80 session, Tabata, something like that. Those are short but brutal.
Oh yeah, brutal.
So the key is that it's condensed, designed to maximize benefit in a limited time frame. It's about optimizing your time for physical activity.
What's your favorite type of quick workout? Something you can squeeze in before breakfast, during a lunch break, or maybe at the end of the day to get your blood pumping. For a moment of warmth, calm, and comfort, we turn to brew some tea. Lovely phrase. This means to make tea the entire process. boiling water, steeping the tea leaves or bag, and then enjoying the prepared drink. It describes the entire simple ritual involved. You'll hear, "Oh, I brewed some tea while waiting for my computer to update," making use of time. Or, "She brews a fresh cup of Earl Grey every morning as part of her routine," ritualistic.
Brewing specifically refers to the process of making tea generally, and this phrase highlights the simple, comforting ritual and careful preparation involved. It implies a deliberate act of creation, suggesting a moment of pause and enjoyment rather than just quick consumption like, say, chugging coffee.
Very different vibe.
Totally different. It's a phrase that conjures a feeling of warmth and tranquility, very much embedded in the cultural appreciation of a hot, comforting drink.
The comforting ritual of tea. A moment of calm in a busy day. Could you brew other things besides tea? Like, does that verb work elsewhere?
Yes, absolutely. You can brew coffee, especially if it involves a coffee maker that steeps grounds in water, like a French press or pour over. And of course, you brew beer and other fermented drinks. The common element is steeping something, usually in hot liquid, to extract flavor or essence or alcohol. So while it's very commonly associated with tea, it's actually a versatile verb.
Do you brew some tea to relax in the evening as part of your morning routine? Or perhaps when you need a comforting break from work? And sometimes, maybe before guests arrive, or just to feel better about your surroundings, we need to tidy up, the quick fix. This means to clean or organize something quickly, usually involving a light effort rather than a deep, thorough clean. It's about restoring a sense of order and neatness efficiently, making things look presentable. Examples from the source are, "Quick, let's tidy up before the guests arrive. The living room is a mess," panic tidying, and "I tidied up the kitchen this morning after breakfast," routine maintenance.
To tidy up suggests a light, quick organization rather than a deep, thorough clean. That's the main point. It's about restoring a sense of order and neatness in a focused, efficient manner, often in anticipation of something like guests arriving, or just to make a space feel more comfortable and manageable psychologically.
There's the mind, too.
It does. It's a practical phrase for maintaining daily livability without the commitment of a full, clean the entire house operation.
That quick spruce up before visitors or just to reclaim your space. Feel a bit more in control. Is there a difference between tidy up and clean up? They sound similar.
Yes, there generally is a difference. Tidy up is usually about putting things away, organizing, making things look neat, dealing with clutter.
Order.
Right, order. Clean up often involves actual washing, scrubbing, wiping, or removing dirt, grime, spills, dealing with dirt.
Cleanliness.
Exactly. So you tidy up a messy room full of toys, but you clean up a spilled drink or a dirty floor. The distinction is about order versus actual cleanliness.
What area do you usually tidy up first when expecting company? Or just when you need a quick refresh of your living environment? Kitchen counters, living room table. Staying informed about the world around us is crucial for many people, and we do this by using the phrase to catch the news. This means to watch or listen to the news, often as it's broadcast live, or maybe to quickly read headlines at a regular time each day. It's about receiving information to stay current, being aware. The examples are, "I always try to catch the news headlines while eating breakfast," multitasking, and "he likes to catch the main news bulletin at 6 p.m. every evening to stay informed," routine.
Catching the news implies receiving information, often somewhat passively, as it happens, or at a regularly scheduled time. It's about staying informed about current events and the world around you, often integrated into other daily routines like eating a meal or commuting, listening to the radio. This phrase highlights the importance many people place on keeping abreast of information in a structured or habitual way. It's a very common daily ritual for millions.
How do you catch the news to stay informed? If you do, is it first thing in the morning with your coffee, during your commute, in the evening watching TV, or do you graze on headlines online throughout the day? A very practical and often recurring daily or weekly task for most of us is to pick up groceries. Gotta eat. This means to buy food or supplies from a store, typically for household consumption. It's a routine errand for essential items. You'll hear, "Oh, I need to pick up groceries after work on my way home," standard procedure. And she went out to pick up some fruit and milk for the week. Quick trip, maybe.
Picking up groceries implies a routine, necessary errand, usually for essential household food items and supplies. It's a very common and practical daily or weekly task that is central to maintaining a household. Basic life admin. This phrase perfectly captures the mundane yet vital aspect of daily life management, something almost everyone has to do regularly.
It's a necessary chore for most. Does pick up imply a smaller trip than go grocery shopping? or can it be the big weekly shop?
Not necessarily smaller, no. Pickup groceries can refer to a large weekly shop just as easily as a small top-up trip for milk and bread. It's more about the act of acquiring the items than the quantity involved. Go grocery shopping tends to be a more encompassing term for the activity itself, the whole process of going to the store, pushing the cart, etc., while pickup groceries focuses more on the result, having the items, bringing them home.
Ah, okay. Subtle difference. When do you typically pick up groceries? Is it a big weekly shop planned out, or do you prefer to pop into a shop for smaller, more frequent trips as needed? In our interconnected world, communication is constant and often condensed. Very brief. We frequently send a quick message. This means to text or write someone briefly, efficiently conveying essential information without fuss or lengthy explanation. Short and sweet. It's about concise digital communication, getting the info across fast. Examples are, okay, I just sent a quick message to confirm the meeting time. Essential. And he always sends a quick message before arriving to let me know he's on his way. Polite heads up.
To send a quick message emphasizes brevity and efficiency in communication. That's its core, which is so typical of modern digital interactions, isn't it? Texts, DMs, Slacks.
Totally. Information overload otherwise.
Exactly. It implies conveying essential information without fuss or lengthy explanation, reflecting the fast-paced nature of how we connect with others today. It's about getting to the point quickly, respecting both your time and the recipient's time.
This is your go-to for confirmations, updates, and quick check-ins, isn't it? So useful. What kind of quick messages do you send most often? And how essential has this form of communication become in your daily life? Hard to imagine life without it now. As the day truly winds down towards sleep, we use the phrase to wind down. Similar to kick back and relax, but maybe more focused on the end of the day. This means to relax after a busy or stimulating day, gradually shifting your mind and body from activity and alertness to a state of calm and restfulness. It's a deliberate process of de-escalation, slowing down. You might say, I like to wind down with some quiet music before bed. Or, she winds down by reading a novel for an hour every evening. Escape. This phrase describes the gradual process of de-escalating from periods of activity and stimulation to a state of relaxation, preparing for sleep. To wind down is about intentionally preparing the mind and body for rest, allowing stress and the day's demands to dissipate. Let it go. Important process.
Very important. It's a crucial step in ensuring restful sleep and maintaining overall well-being. Acknowledging that you can't just flip a switch from on to off for sleep usually doesn't work.
It's that gentle transition, isn't it? What's your perfect routine to wind down before bed? Does it involve reading, listening to music, a warm bath, maybe some light stretching, or something else entirely that helps you gently transition from the day's demands to peaceful slumber? Now, when the day has been truly exhausting, beyond normal tired, leading to profound physical and mental fatigue, then we might need to crawl into bed. Oh, the exhaustion in that phrase. This means to slowly and tiredly get into bed, conveying extreme exhaustion where even the simple act of moving feels laborious. Takes effort. It's a physical expression of being utterly spent, running on empty. You might hear, oh man, I literally crawled into bed after that ridiculously long day, barely made it. Or she crawled into bed and instantly fell asleep. She was that tired. Collapse.
Crawling into bed vividly conveys extreme exhaustion,
Yeah.
where even the seemingly simple act of getting into bed feels laborious and demands significant effort. It's a physical expression of being utterly spent, emphasizing the profound tiredness one feels after a particularly grueling day or maybe illness. It really paints a picture of being physically and mentally drained, beyond just going to bed. Much more intense. It's a very relatable image of complete fatigue. We've all felt that way.
Unfortunately, yes. That deep exhaustion after a particularly grueling day when every muscle aches and you just want to collapse into softness. Is there a connection to childhood, do you think, with the word crawl?
Yeah.
Like a baby crawling?
That's an interesting thought. While crawl literally refers to moving on hands and knees, in this idiom, it's completely metaphorical. It's about the feeling, not the action. It implies a lack of energy so severe that even a normal walk to the bed feels like an impossible feat, like climbing a mountain. So it's more about the effort required rather than mimicking a child's movement. It's the ultimate expression of being too tired for anything but the sweet relief of bed.
When have you felt so tired that you had to crawl into bed, finding solace in the immediate relief of just lying down and stopping? And finally, a peaceful conclusion to our day, hopefully. We have to drift off to sleep, gentle. This means to slowly, gradually, and often peacefully fall asleep. A gentle transition into slumber. It's less abrupt and less forceful than crashing out, suggesting a calm and often serene path to unconsciousness. floating away. Examples are, I slowly drifted off to sleep listening to some calming music. Nice. Or, he drifted off during the film, only waking up when the credits rolled. Missed the ending.
This gentle phrase describes a gradual, often peaceful transition into sleep. Lovely image. Perhaps aided by a comforting activity like music, a soft sound, or even a film that you're not entirely focused on. Something soothing. To drift off to sleep is distinct from the suddenness of crashing out, suggesting a calm and often serene path to slumber rather than an abrupt collapse.
Much nicer way to go.
Definitely. It speaks to a more relaxed and comfortable entry into sleep, a state of gentle ease.
The serene path to slumber, that gradual release into unconsciousness. How do you prefer to drift off to sleep? Do you need complete silence, or do you find gentle sounds, music, or maybe stories help ease you into dreams? Outro. Wow, what a journey through a day. That was a lot. We've just thoroughly unpacked 50 incredibly useful phrases. Phrases that don't just fill gaps in sentences, but add immense depth, naturalness, and a real sense of connection to how people actually live and speak in English. You've just gained a powerful toolkit, hopefully, to describe your own daily life with far greater nuance. From that relatable struggle to drag yourself out of bed, to the comfort of gently drifting off to sleep. These aren't just words. They are truly the emotional and practical fabric of everyday communication.
And that's the real takeaway here, I think.
Yeah. Mastering these seemingly simple phrases is absolutely key to moving beyond basic functional communication and stepping into a more authentic, nuanced understanding of English. It's about grasping the unspoken rhythms of daily life, understanding the emotional subtext behind common actions, and expressing your own experiences with genuine authenticity. This raises an important question for you, our listener. How much richer does your understanding of English become when you can grasp the subtle feelings and intentions behind, say, dragging yourself out of bed versus just getting up?
Big difference.
Or chugging your coffee versus simply drinking it. It's about gaining a deeper cultural and emotional insight that opens up new avenues for connection. It really does. Precisely. So as you go about your day tomorrow, or even later today, we challenge you to pick just one or two of these phrases. Really listen for them in conversations. Notice them in media you consume, or, even better, try to use them yourself. Be brave. Which phrase from our deep dive today truly captures a specific part of your routine, a feeling, or an action you perform daily? And how might integrating it into your active vocabulary open up new, more authentic ways to share your story, your experiences, and your authentic self in English? Start small, but be observant and brave. Give it a try. Keep listening, keep learning, and most importantly, keep applying what you discover. That's how we truly make knowledge ours, turning insights into real-world fluency.